Hello, everyone. Welcome to the call. We'll get started in just a few minutes. Go grab some friends. Let's find out all about healthy fats, omega-3s, omega-6s, and really a good reason to take omega-3s from Sue. Threes from Sue. We're almost to the top of the hour, and I'm just waiting on Andrea to show up, and we'll get started. Hello, Andrea.
Hi.
How are you today?
Stressed.
All right. You got to unblock your video. We're ready to go. We're on Facebook Live. Welcome to the webinar, everyone. My name is Dr. Kurt Fisnick, and we've got Andrea McKinney with us here today. And Andrew, you got control of your camera?
Says you have disabled it.
I have not disabled it.
Well, I guess I'll just talk today.
Okay, well, I'll shut off my camera. Oh, no, I'm not gonna. Hang on one second. Okay, well, welcome to the discussion today. My name is Dr. Kirk Kisnick, and I've got my friend and weekly partner on this call, Andrea McKinney, on the call with us today. How are you doing today, Andrea?
I'm great.
All right. Well, welcome to the call. You know, today I thought it'd be great to start talking about omegas, omega-3s, and fish oils, and EPA, DHA, GLA. What do you think of all that?
I think most people are confused by that, so it would be a good topic.
Yeah, most people are a little bit confused by it. You know, the other day, Andrea, I made a post here on Facebook about omega-6s, and I listed a lot of common foods and how much omega-6 was actually in some of those foods. Did you happen to see that post?
I don't think I did.
Well, on the post, it listed a lot of common foods, you know, like, for example, sweet and sour chicken. Chinese food. A lot of people go to Chinese restaurants. They order sweet and sour chicken. Do you know how much omega-6s are found in Chinese sweet and sour chicken? Just one order?
No.
30,000 milligrams.
Wow.
That's a lot. You know, some experts say we should have a 1-to-1 ratio in our diet of omega-6s to omega-3s.
Okay.
So that means you would have to have 30,000 milligrams of omega-3 to balance out the omega-6. If you go to TGI Fridays and have an order of French fries, you're getting about the same thing, between 20 to 30,000 milligrams of omega-6.
Okay. And tell us about omega-6. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, I've got a couple slides on it. I just wanted to kind of give people an idea of how much omega-6 they're having in their diet.
Okay.
So, and omega-3s, of course, are healthy fats, considered healthy, but omega-6s are healthy too, but just you have to have them in a ratio. And that's kind of what people are not doing right now. So there's about 20,000 studies talking about the benefits of the omega-3 fatty acids. And the researchers continue to find new reasons for us to go on these omega-3s, reducing the shrinkage of the brain. You know, some days, don't you wake up and think your brain is shrunk?
No, not usually.
No, some days I do. I wake up and I think, man, my head feels empty today. And omega-3s help to protect memory, improve the endothelial function, which is the function of the blood vessels. And then now they're starting to say that different omega-3 sources actually affect the body in different ways.
Okay.
You know, so there's emerging evidence that suggests that omega-3s from fish oil as well as krill oil kind of complement each other. You know, years ago, didn't we just hear cod liver oil, salmon oil, right?
Yeah, or flaxseed oil.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to show you some reasons why you don't want to, why you want to be on fish oil rather than flaxseed. But, you know, it wasn't until the last 3, 4, 5 years that I started hearing about krill oil.
Okay.
So what's the big deal with it, Andrea?
I don't know.
You don't know. I really didn't know until today either. So I always learn by doing these presentations. Hang on, I'm going to move there's some control panel that's in the way here. So they say that you want to combine it because it helps with cardiovascular, it helps with the brain, it helps with the nervous system. And omega-3s from the fish and the krill oil are different. Omega-3 is found in krill oil to be more rapidly incorporated into red blood cells, into the fats in the red blood. And it says that when the omega-3s such as DHA, which are bound in the phospholipids that they are with krill, it goes to the brain faster.
I see.
So DHA, of course, is one of the fats, one of the fatty acids that's found in fish oil. Oh, and by the way, you don't get that from flaxseed. There is no DHA in flaxseed.
Okay.
So you want to try and balance this out. You want to try and get the uptake so it's at a balance rather than the imbalance. And so when we look at what's called the SAD, the Standard American Diet, we've got way too many omega-6s. Like I was saying about you go and have one serving of sweet and sour chicken, and you've got 30,000 milligrams of omega-6s. So a lot of people, healthy, conscious people, are trying to reduce this. And sources of the omega-6s are a lot of the oils that we cook food in: corn oil, safflower, sunflower oil, soybean oil, as well as in chicken and eggs. And how many years ago did they tell us to quit eating red meat, eat more chicken?
Right.
It's a healthier meat, they told us. Now they're finding that it doesn't have a lot of the omega-3s. It's heavy in omega-6. And so, but they found, I don't want to make omega-6 sound bad so that you don't get any at all. Omega-6 helps with a lot of different things. There's new evidence that say it helps with chronic inflammation, eczema. So it causes inflammation, but it helps with inflammation. It helps with eczema, dermatitis, asthma, rheumatoid arthritis, atherosclerosis, diabetes, obesity, even cancer.
All good things.
All good things. That's right. And so that's a pretty cool picture of balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
We got to get a balance of all these fats. We got to make it so that they're healthy. And so they ask me then, well, so what should I take, fish oil or krill oil? And I have some people, some of my friends, some of my people in nutrition, they say, oh, I just take krill oil. It's better. So they share a lot of important similarities, but there's a couple things that the fish oil is good too. So they're rich in the heart healthy omega-3 fats, but fish oil is better for cardiovascular health, better than krill oil.
Okay.
So the stuff that I was reading about this morning, that's what they were saying. So think about that. We just said that krill oil is good for the brain because it has the right kind of DHA, which attaches to the red blood cells and it takes it to the brain more quickly. But now I'm saying that omega-3s from fish oil helps with the cardiovascular system.
Well, that's good to know.
So which one is more important, your heart or your brain?
Well, both, actually.
Yeah. So atherosclerosis is in a large part is caused by chronic low-grade inflammation. So your system is inflamed all the time, and that comes from a lot of consumption of omega-6s, like we were talking about. You don't have the balance, but then the GLA, which is an omega-6, producing enzyme. It produces an enzyme called delta-6 desaturase. It declines with age and stress. So now doctors are saying that maybe we're seeing more of this atherosclerosis, which is hardening of the arteries in people that are, as they're aging, because of the decline in the delta-6 desaturase enzyme.
I see.
So this omega-6 works with the multiple systems, and it shifts the cardiovascular system back toward a natural, non-inflamed state. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Right.
So you got the omega-6s that cause inflammation. You got one omega-6 that's called GLA that actually helps with the inflammation. You got omega-3 from fish that helps with the cardiovascular system. You got omega-3 from krill that helps with the brain. Do you remember all this stuff?
No, but I can come back and watch your video.
You know, and a lot of people, they oh man, that's too much to remember. So at the end of this slide presentation, I'm going to show you all you need to know. How's that?
Sounds good.
Yeah. So omega-3 contains both this EPA and DHA. EPA is the one that gets rid of inflammation. So if you have arthritis, EPA is the one you want to get. But DHA is the one that's specific for the brain. And so it helps to reduce the risk of early death. It helps with the systemic systems in the body. DHA is vital for early brain development and maintenance. So that's why, like when your children are young, you want to make sure that they're getting plenty of fish oil. And based on what we're reading here, it would seem that you'd want to maybe use a little bit more krill oil, right? You don't want to just use some cheapo, Walmart brand. You want to actually get a good brand, so you're getting the right things, because oils, they tend to get rancid, don't they?
Yes, I do.
I mean, if you were digging around your cupboard and you found an old bottle of oil, would you use it if it was like 5 or 6 years old?
No, and it's the quality of production too, and the quality of the source that you have to look at.
That's right. That's right. So together, this EPA and DHA, they protect the brain. The neuroprotective benefits are to prevent this cortical atrophy, the shrinkage that we were talking about. And so people that have brain shrinkage, this is actually a medical thing, this cortical atrophy. I wasn't just joking around about it. And they experience memory loss, cognitive decline, and an increase in depression. So wouldn't it make sense that if you want to prevent cognitive decline, prevent memory loss, and decrease your risk of depression, wouldn't you want to have more fish oils?
Yes, and I had an experience yesterday where in my eye I had floaters and flashes of light, so I ended up going to an ophthalmologist.
Yeah.
In the process, I did some research and learned that as we age, especially if you're nearsighted, because nearsighted people have football-shaped eyeballs, the inside of the eye starts to pull away from the back of the eye. It shrinks. So when you're talking about the brain shrinking due to lack of these oils, I'm wondering if that has the same effect on the eye, because we know that oils help with all cell membrane.
That would be interesting to look up, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That might be something, that we can talk about next week, because I want to talk about these omega-3s for the next 3 or 4 weeks. I really got to stress to people that they need to start taking the Super Omega.
Yeah, and we've had 30 years of people, maybe 40, telling us that fats are bad without any distinction about what fats are good and what fats are bad, unless you're really doing research like you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what they taught us. Don't eat butter, don't use butter, use vegetable oil. Now they're finding vegetable oil is high in omega-6, which causes inflammation. We have more heart disease today than we've ever had. We have more people having cancer than we've ever had. And wouldn't you think they'd go back to where we start to see the increase and say, hey, wait, we made a mistake.
Yeah, well, maybe it was on purpose. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think it was on purpose. I think they made a mistake, but now they don't want to go back and admit they made a mistake. So check this out. So omega-3s help with reducing weight, lowering blood pressure, normalizing your blood lipid profiles, so your cholesterol, your triglycerides in your blood, reducing the after meal glucose levels, right? Because after you eat, what happens is you see your glucose levels spike, right? Your insulin spikes. Mm-hmm. So it balances that out. And then reducing the total body inflammatory status. And you can measure that with, when you go to your doctor now, they measure the C-reactive protein. I remember when I first started hearing about that 25 years ago, doctors, when I'd ask them to measure that for me, they'd say, oh, no, we don't measure that. It means nothing.
Huh.
Now, of course, it's included in the regular panel. So
C-reactive protein is something that tells you about inflammation in the body.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep. So what happens if you have too little omega-3s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they're going to have cartilage loss. They're going to have arthritis caused by this. And when they look at osteoarthritis, DHA, EPA, when it was added with chondroitin sulfate, which is in our Renovator product, people experience more of a complete relief of symptoms.
Cool.
How many people our age complain about joint pain and joint stiffness?
Oh, almost everyone.
Almost everyone. And do they even think about taking a balanced fish oil? Do they think about lowering their omega-6 and increasing their omega-3s? Do they think about combining that with a chondroitin, glucosamine sulfate, or MSM?
Well, I think most people just aren't aware of this information, so it's great that you're sharing it.
That's right. Most people aren't aware of the information. It's just not adequately reported to people. And so people ask me all the time, because we've got this big vegan, movement. By the way, have you tried that Impossible Burger at Burger King? The Impossible Whopper?
No, I don't eat at Burger King.
Oh, I had to stop there and grab an Impossible Whopper.
I saw that you did that.
Yeah, and really, I'll tell you, Andrea, they've done a good job of making vegetables taste like meat. But, other than the fact that you might save a cow or two, there's no reason to eat it.
Well, now they're posting all over social media that it's full of glyphosates anyway.
Oh yeah. Plus it's GMO. It's genetically modified. How are you gonna get a vegetable that tastes like a cow? Unless you genetically modify it. I mean, my God. Right?
Well, my thought about this, like this laboratory meat they plan on growing, is what you've taught us about, the life source of hydrogen coming from the sun. There's no sun in the laboratory, so how is that meat going to get filled with the things that it needs to get filled with? That's
right. Yeah. So flaxseed has another oil. It's called ALA.
Okay.
Alpha lipoic acid.
Mm-hmm.
So they found that if you're taking flax oil, if you say, "Oh, I'm a vegan," right?
Yeah.
La-di-da, yeah, I'm a vegan, and I'm going to use flaxseed oil instead. Well, flaxseed oil is unable to raise the plasma DHA levels. So unless they're getting DHA from an algae-based source, most vegetarians and vegans are going to be deficient on DHA.
Okay.
So you have to have an animal source to balance that out. I mean, sure, if you're really good at making sure you're getting your DHA from from algae, but are most people doing that?
No, most people don't even think about intaking algae.
Yeah. I mean, if you're listening to us right now, or you're listening to the video, comment on that. Are you getting an algae-based source of DHA? Did you know that? If you're a vegan or a vegetarian, did you know that? Be honest. Did you know that? I mean, a lot of people, they tell me, "Oh yeah, I'm a vegan. I don't hurt animals, blah, 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 blah." And hit me for it. I don't care. I mean, I'm going to make my comments because this is what I believe, that God gave us animals just like he gave us plants. And certain animals were given to us just to eat as food, like a cow. Don't you believe?
Yeah, I think that's what God's word says anyway.
That's right. So anyhow, I mean, I don't want to get into all that, but if you're a vegan, make your comment here. Did you know that you're not getting enough DHA? If you did know, what were you doing about it? What are you doing about it? So, calculation today, Andrea, say that that the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 is somewhere close to 25 to 1.
Wow. So that's way off balance.
Yeah, when you consider that they're telling us today that we should keep the balance somewhere around 4 to 1, and not that long ago, I think it was just 2 years ago, all the scientists that I keep up with, they said the balance should be 1 to 1.
Okay.
So most people get most of their fats from soybean oil.
That would be bad, right?
Right? And that's primarily from omega-6. So they're going to be way out of range, way out of whack. And then you look at Big Pharma, they're well aware of the things that we're showing today. They're well aware of this stuff. They know about this. But instead of telling you to take omega-3s, they tell you, Andrea, take ibuprofen, aspirin. They say, here's some Celebrex,
Right.
And it works by reducing the formation of inflammatory compounds that were derived from the omega-6 fatty acid. What if the drug company said, no, Andrea, you don't need to take that Celebrex prescription. You don't need to take that ibuprofen. Just take a good omega-3.
Right.
When's that going to happen?
Never. Well, it's them and the food industry, because if you look at the ingredients in every kind of snack item out there, like crackers, any type of cracker, any of those little snack crackers, all of that stuff is just loaded with bad oils.
Bad oil. That's exactly it. And they're not going to change this stuff because that means less profit for them. I saw on TV the other day, I saw an ad for a man-made synthetic fish oil. I thought, you know what? What if we just took and we squeezed the oil out of the fish and kept doing that?
Right.
And eat the rest of the fish. I don't know. Am I just being crazy? So.
Well, we know that everything synthetic doesn't line up molecularly with our body, our systems. And that's why you have all these contradictions to taking medication. It's because they've tweaked the molecules of something natural in most cases. And your body gets in there and it's like, we don't know what to do with this. We don't recognize it as something that we can use.
That's right. So what's it all mean, Andrew? I mean, I'm going to sum up everything that we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes. Plain English, this is what it means, is that the more omega-3 fat you eat, the less the omega-6 will be available to cause inflammation.
Okay, that's good. That's easy
all.
to remember.
That's all you want to remember. And if you remember that, and you just remember that fish oil sources are better than plant sources for the omega-3s, for the DHA. Those are the things that I try and tell people. So what product is just, in our opinion, I know it's your opinion too, it's just the best, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Sizzle
Yeah.
Super Omega Plus.
Yeah, Super Omega Plus. It's loaded with omega-3s and omega-6s that are balanced, right? It has omega-6 because there's some good benefits to omega-6, but it's in a balance, right? But Super Omega also contains omega-5. It's an extremely powerful antioxidant. It's got omega-7, which helps regulate fat and blood sugar levels. Omega-7 actually works right alongside with the omega-3s and omega-6s to make them work better.
Well, that's what I always say. I love how our products are formulations of things that will cause a synergistic effect.
That's right. And then you get the omega-9s, which are just superb, for helping prevent depression. Here's the label off of it. A lot of people like to see the label, so I thought I'd include that. We've actually got we've got the CoQ10 in ours.
The real CoQ10.
The real stuff, not the crystallized form. We've got the non-crystallized form of CoQ10, and that helps with the with the cardiovascular system.
Yep, sure does.
You know, and did you see here that Tom uses a combination of salmon, anchovy, sardine, mackerel, as well as krill,
Uh-huh.
right? And again, you know, he reads the same studies. He knows when he formulates this stuff, he puts that into account. So 3 capsules, that's what you need.
Sounds marvelous.
Unless you're going to eat a lot of food that has a lot of omega-6, and then you want to take additional.
Right.
So, anyhow, you know, Andrea, let's see, what time is it? Oh, we're a little bit early. We got done a little bit early today.
Yeah, well, that's not bad.
Not a bad deal. Anything that you want to add?
No, it was a good topic. It was, you shared concisely about how it works. And I think people can walk away with a better knowledge about oils and feel more confident in what they need to help themselves optimize their health.
That's right. We've even got some turmeric in there.
That's good.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. So, and some vitamin D.
Always good to have some vitamin D.
Vitamin D. All right. Well, Andrea, you have a wonderful day. Hopefully it's beautiful out in Michigan where you are. We're getting a little bit of rain here in North Dakota today, but it keeps things cool that way, not cold.
Right. Well, thank you again, Doc, for showing up Tuesdays to share information with us so we can all become healthier.
You bet. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.